Hi, Nancy here, and I'm back with yet another tubular bind off, and this is on 2x2 ribbing. You know, like I said on my other video, this is great for toe-up socks because of the amazing elastic bind off you get. However, it works on 1x1 ribbing. What are you going to do if you have 2x2 ribbing? And again, I'm doing this on one needle, so you don't have to mess around with separating the knits from the purls and putting them on two separate needles. You get the exact same result. I just think it's easier, but again, it's up to you. Whenever you feel like doing the traditional Kishner bind off or the Kishner stitch, just refer to my video on Kishner and you'll see there's that way to do it as well. Okay, little maintenance you have to do on this before you can actually do your tubular bind off. Okay, what I have here is I've got 2x2 ribs set up on my needle, all right? But just like when you do, this is not a tubular cast on, by the way, it's just a typical long tail. But if this were tubular through and through, you can't start out 2x2. You start out 1x1 and then build it to 2x2. Same is true with the cast off. You have to get this back down to 1x1, and you don't really see what you're about to do here. It doesn't show up, especially when you're dealing with sock yarn. It's not going to show at all. But even on this large size, even on this swatch, you can see there's really no way to determine that I have changed this back on one row to 1x1 ribbing. So here you go. It's a little weird. That's the word I'm looking for. It's kind of weird. So, okay. So you're going to have to work one more row to make the change. And here's what we're going to do. So we're going to, we need to set this up, knit one, purl one. So we're going to knit the first stitch, right? Okay. Now, I need to play a little switcheroo here. I need to get that purl stitch over here. So I'm going to switch these two. I'm going to take my right needle and I'm going to go through the back of that purl stitch. I'm going to slide off that knit stitch that's ahead of it, okay? Then I'm going to put that knit stitch on the left needle. You can take another needle if you want to do that. If you're kind of scared and if it's skinny little sock yarn, by all means use another needle to make that quick little slip. I like living dangerously, that's why I do it that way. Okay. Now we're going to purl that stitch. See, and I know it looks funky. That's okay. Don't worry about the funkiness here. And then we're going to knit this stitch. Okay. This should be a purl. We're good. Okay. And we should have a knit. So you don't have to do this just to maintain this knit purl pattern. Okay, so here we go again. We're going to pass by that knit stitch, go into the back of the purl stitch. We're going to slip it off. We're going to put it back onto that needle. Okay, and then we're going to purl. We're going to try to purl. Okay, and then we're going to knit. Okay. See, look at there's your purl bump, knit, purl bump, knit, purl bump, knit, purl bump. Then we're going to purl. Okay, then we're going to knit. But now we're going to do our switcheroo here in the back. Okay, and then I'll put that stitch on this needle. And if you want a good laugh, I'm going to try to do this English. Okay. Oh dear. Okay, so we're just going to, I know, see, that's not even right. Look at me. Shame on me. Okay, there we go. Yes, I did it. Okay, I can do the knits okay. See? There you go. Look at me like a pro here. Okay, we'll go one more on this purl here. Okay. There we go, yarn in front. Okay, yarn in back. And we're going to knit. And because the last one we've just got one stitch here, we're just going to bring the yarn forward and I'm going to purl it. No biggie. Okay. Okay. So now what we've done here, we've got it set up as knit, purl, 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 right? Now we're ready to bind it off. Okay, so here we go. We're going to do it exactly the same as we've done the one by one. If you want to watch that one, a few more stitches on this one. So we're going to thread. Should have sewn my end in. Would have made it easier, but why go through all that trouble, right? Okay. All right. As with all Kishner, you always go through each stitch twice. A knit stitch you begin with as if to purl and with knit off. With a purl stitch as if to knit and with purl off. This is exactly the same. So we're going to start with as if to purl, leave on. Okay. Next stitch, as if to knit, leave on. Okay. Now we're going to knit off. Get this back here a little bit. All right, and then we're going to jump over to which is now the second stitch, and we're going to purl on. Oh dear, look at this. Ugh. This is Rowan Big Wool, and I love this stuff, but when you knit with it all the time, it gets kind of snaggly. And of course, it does it when you're filming something, so. Okay, all right, and let's bring that through. Okay, there we go. That's all good. Okay, then this is a purl stitch, so we're going to purl off. And you always want to leave at least 4 times the length of the stitches you're binding off, at least 4 times that amount. Okay, here's this funky little thing again, where you go in between the 2 stitches, first and second. Push down. Push down on that stitch, and you're going in it as if to purl. Okay? I'm sorry, as if to knit. Ay. Okay, now we're going to knit off. And I split the yarn there. Shame on me. Okay, now we're going to go across, and this is as if to purl. Okay, then we're going to purl off. Then I'm going to do it the other way, okay, where you come and bring it all the way between the needles, between the stitches, I mean. Then you're going to go in as if to knit. It's the exact same motion. And then you're going to knit off. If you've never done this before, practice it. Okay, and then you're going to go into this knit stitch as if to purl. Okay. Yeah, you know what I didn't do. Oh, there we go. Okay. As if to purl. Okay, and then we're going to purl off. Okay. And then we're going to do it the funky way again. Push between from behind, then as if to knit through that stitch. It's hard to see it on this camera, I know it is, but hopefully you're getting the idea what I'm doing here. Okay, then you're going to knit off. Okay, then we're going to purl on, and then we're going to purl off. And by the way, I always do this talking, whether it's on camera or not. When I'm doing this, I talk to myself. Okay, between, press down as if to knit. Okay, look at the roll. See how it's turning out here? Look at this. So you've got that perfect roll. And there's no way you would know that I turned this into 1x1 ribbing. You would not know that. Okay, so now we've gone through that stitch, so then we're going to knit off. Oh, I should get my pad down here. You're going to hear this scratching. Ugh. Purl on. Purl off. Okay, right. Then we're going to go between. I'm going to do it this way again, the old way. In between and bring it through. Because if that works better for you, that's okay. That's okay. You do it however works better for you. Okay. All right, then we're going to knit off. Okay. Okay, and then we're going to purl on. We're almost to the end now. Okay, and then we're going to purl off. Okay, now the last one. We're going to do funky again. Okay, we're going to bring it through as if to knit. Okay, then we're going to knit off, and then we are going to purl off. I think it's kind of fun to do, actually. Look how cool that looks. And again, I'll fiddle with those just a little bit, but super stretchy. Isn't that nice? But anyways, now you know how to do both the 1-1 ribbing and the 2-2 ribbing tubular bind off. Thank you.